Well, Running Fever episode 45, a visit to the Dietitian. Well, hello and welcome to another Monday special edition of Running a Fever. I just started the MOVE program at the VA, and I had my first visit with Angela, my new dietitian. And hopefully I'll get to interview her sometime in the future, but for now I'll just go over some of the really great info that she passed on to me. We talked a little bit about what kind of meals I could have. And I told her what I was doing for breakfast and that sort of thing. I asked about sausage. She said that something leaner would be better. Of course, we know it's high in protein, but the fat is not good for you, obviously. Eggs are a superfood. Oatmeal is a superfood. It's got slow-burning carbs. She also suggested adding some fruit to that. And aim for a 500-calorie breakfast. And that's what she said. Now, the first thing, when I got in there, of course, I knew that my diet was wrong. I had a problem. That's why I was there. I was not eating enough. My calorie level was too low, and I wasn't getting the nutrition I needed. She's telling me how many calories and what level I should be at as well. She said that 1,800 is a good number to shoot for in terms of daily calorie intake. And I can't remember if she specified that is to lose weight or to maintain. I think it probably depends on, from person to person, but 1,800 is a good daily number to shoot for. Not to lose more than 10% at a time. Your body can handle a 10% weight loss without a problem, like I've had with metabolism. So lose 10%. And then wait 6 months, lose another 10%. Continue that as long as you need to, but do not lose like I did over 25% of my weight at one time. Not good at all. Continuing to talk about meals, there's, of course, a snack could be, I told her about the 6 meal a day thing, and she's, yeah, that's fine. The snack should be maybe what I didn't have for breakfast to kind of fill out that balanced diet. If I didn't have eggs for breakfast, I could have an egg. If I didn't have any dairy, I could have something like that, or fruit. And what I've been generally going with is yogurt, which is a high protein. It's light yogurt, so it's only about 80 calories. So that's usually what my first snack of the day is in between breakfast and lunch. Now, as I've told you, there are certain foods that I just can't do without. And one of them is cheese. I love cheese. And I was telling her about tacos and what I put on the tacos. It's like, we can do without the cheese. No, I cannot do without the cheese. That's a deal breaker right there. She said that there is a type of Cabot cheese that is lower in calories. I think I'm using with a Cabot cheese now that's a habanero cheddar. It's more of a white cheddar, but the habanero kind of makes it not so white. I think it's about 110 calories per ounce, which is not bad. If you get typical like Swiss cheese, that'll be about 130 calories per slice or something like that. Anyway, so I can live with that, and it fits within my boundaries if I can just not have a lot of it. And then I asked her about meal replacement shakes. She said she would rather me, because I've been having it for lunch because it's easy. I'm at work. I want to work through lunch so I can get home early. So, I just have one of those shakes and I can drink that while I'm working. She said it's fine, but you probably want to wait until she actually prefers that I do it later in the day because it's a lower calorie intake, and I want to have calories earlier in the day. And this was a key point. Eat earlier in the day, spread out my meals evenly because our bodies store food that we don't need that we consume all at once. So in other words, you have a big lunch and you're only, have a 600 calorie, 700 calorie, 800 calorie lunch, and you're only going to use 300 calories that afternoon. Well, the rest of it gets stored. That's one of the benefits of eating many small meals. You have just what you need for the next couple of hours, and then you have another meal, so you don't go hungry. She suggested a frittata. I have not found a frittata. She says it's like a little cup with eggs in it or something. It makes it a convenient way to eat eggs, because I was asking, well, I'm at work. How do I eat an egg at work, right? So that would be a way to do that. She also suggested Smart Balance for substitute for butter. And I found that to be good. Tastes just as good to me. And it's about a third the calories, I think. Something like that, at least half the calories. Apparently better for you. I don't even know what's in it, but it is a lower calorie alternative. So I can use that on popcorn or in my oatmeal. I usually eat it in my oatmeal every morning. And mayonnaise with olive oil. I always used to think, why olive oil? What's the point? Why is that better than whatever they put in it, vegetable oil? But turns out that mayonnaise with olive oil is half the calories of the regular mayonnaise, which is amazing because I like mayonnaise on, like hamburgers, sandwiches, stuff like that. So it's always good to have an option that I can still use there. And she generally said, don't just eat bacon for breakfast or sausage, or even if it's turkey bacon or whatever, don't eat just one thing. You got to have a balance. So try to get multiple food groups throughout the day. Now, fruit is good, but you need to count your calories for fruit. About each serving of fruit, which is about a cup, is 60 to 100 calories. She claims that veggies are free. Obviously, veggies do not have 0 calories, but she says don't bother counting them. Bananas are really nutritious, but they are 120 calories per banana, which is pretty expensive in terms of calories for what you get to eat. She suggested trying sunflower seeds on salads. That's another thing that's, got good stuff in it. I got some of those. I haven't used them much because I usually just kind of forget. And it's not that much that they have calories, just like any kind of, nut usually has some calories, higher calories for a nut, I guess. I don't know if that's a fruit or a vegetable or something else, a legume. So the ideal amount of protein is 17 grams per day. I've not been counting my protein. I've been counting my calories, and I need to start counting the protein. Meat generally has 7 grams of protein per ounce, and an egg has 7 grams of protein. That's going to be probably less. That may be an ounce. And then there are certain vegetables that are protein rich, including edamame, which is like a Japanese round bean that you can get in the shell. And I bought some a while back, but I have not eaten them yet. I really don't like vegetables. Quinoa is like rice, so I'm probably going to start eating some of that with maybe my chili or gumbo or something like that. She did recommend a multivitamin, and I've been doing that for a while. She said that I know that would have helped when I was only getting 600 calories per day. And when I started taking the multivitamin, I immediately felt the difference. She suggested that she knew that Centrum was good. Just compare them. She said I might want the silver version since I'm young at heart, in my 50s. So the tips are pretty good. One of the other problems that she said with losing weight too fast is it can cause your gallbladder not to work correctly, and that can be a serious problem, obviously. I agreed with her. She suggested that I should only lose no more than 11.5 pounds in the next 2 months. And I agreed to do that. Some other things she said, strength training is good. And at 52, there's no reason that I can't build muscle, but it gets easier to lose muscle, or what she referred to as lean tissue, because it's more than just muscle. It's things that aren't fat, which I guess includes bone mass and things like that. The 10,000 step a day rule, she said, is pretty good, but I probably only need to do that several times a week. I don't need to do that every single day. And she also said it's good to change your exercise routine, which I know, but I haven't really been doing very much. I generally, when I walk that 3 times a week, and that's pretty much a routine for me. My strength workouts are pretty much the same too. So I've got to build some variety in. I really like to get a bike, but there are some other things that I can do that probably don't require me spending money. Just got to think more about that and come up with some different things to do. I talked about the fact that I'd been exercising since November and did not see any weight loss until I started dieting. And she said that weight loss is 30% exercise and 70% diet. So really diet is the main factor there. So I've got to get a good diet. Exercise, of course, is a part of that. But it's, not just in weight loss, but in general health. Obviously, it's better to get that circulation and all of those good things that you get from exercise. Now, the MOVE program offers other options rather than, just visiting the dietitian on a regular basis, I'm doing a monthly basis for 6 months. They also have support groups. They have cooking classes, which I believe meet during the day, so I'm not really going to be able to do that. And she also provided me with some stuff. I got a poster, and I'll put a picture of that up on the blog for this episode at runningafever.com. Also, there's a DVD of an exercise that you do in a chair, I guess. She said that's a good ab workout. I haven't looked at it yet, but I probably should find that and look at it. I've been doing some ab exercises, some that I just have known all my life, and others that I'm getting from a pretty decent YouTube channel that's not just about strength training just for one goal of building muscle, but it's also about longevity and working out in such a way that you can continue to work out and extend your physical, well, in terms of athletes, your career, but in terms of everybody else, just your, physical fitness over time. And she actually gave me a plate that had, it's just like your typical paper plate. It was plastic, but, and it has the sections on it, right? And each section is like, here's vegetables, protein, etc. Some stuff I got, and I will post a picture of that. So I hope you got something from this. There was a lot of really good information, and I'm looking forward to going back to see my new dietitian at the VA, and hopefully we'll get her recorded. Definitely a good thing if you're interested in having a good diet. There's a lot of information out there, but nothing beats a professional taking a look at you, and it might, and you can talk to them about your individual situation. That's the great thing about having a professional in any situation. And your insurance may cover it. Something to definitely look into. If your insurance covers it, there's no reason not to do it, really. So that is what happened. I'm looking forward to trying to put this in practice, and I want to continue to lose weight in the long run until I get to my goal. I also want to do it right because I want to live as long as I can, because I love my life, and I want you to live as long as you can, and I want you to love your life as well. I have got a fever for all that good stuff, and I hope you've got a fever too. I will talk to you next time.
This is the Padua Podcast Network. PaduaMedia.com.